Hope Totes is an amazing nonprofit organization that gives hope to patients and caregivers at a time they need it most. We'll tell you more up next. I'm here today with the founders of Hope Totes, Amy and Colleen. Thank you both so much for joining me on the Sweet Buffalo Show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So tell our viewers, what is Hope Totes?
Well, Hope Totes was started in 2020, and it began with an idea in 2018, really. In 2018, my son was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I called my friend Colleen, who had intimate awareness of caring for her son with a rare condition. And I knew that she could help me both in prayer, but also give me some actionable steps on how I could assist Thomas. Her son was diagnosed in 2014, and she had developed a system on how to care for him. So she arrived at the hospital with a tote for me. And inside the tote was a blanket, slippers, because she knew that I was going to be in those cold waiting rooms, and I wasn't leaving the hospital either. But it also had a medical binder, and that medical binder has carried us through even to this very day. We organize Thomas's care plan within that binder, his medication list, his directives, all of his doctors, all of his notes are all within that binder. And it gave me hope to take on the next day and do something actionable for my son. So fast forward in 2020, my friend's daughter was diagnosed with cancer, and I knew exactly what to do. I compiled a Hope Tote and shipped it off, and I called Colleen, who was also, oddly enough,
I was making more totes for people and passing them out. Yeah.
And I said, Colleen, this sets my heart on fire. I know what to do when somebody is going through something. I know how to comfort them. And we met.
So she said that? Yeah, I said, let's go.
And she's the most organized human on the face of the planet. And we sat, and off it went to the 501c3. And 3 years later, we've given
almost 4 now.
Yeah, almost 4. We've given, over 1,000 totes to the area community.
That's absolutely incredible. And you also, your child battled illness, so you know what it feels like to have others be there for you at your time of need. What does it mean to you to know that you're gifting hope to all these patients and caregivers?
So I remember all of the organizations that were there for us when my son was diagnosed and throughout his treatment. We're 9 years in, and he's still receiving treatment. Lots of time at the hospital. A decent amount that were unexpected trips where I had to just go and I had nothing with me. So it took me 3 years to get organized. I literally had a backpack that I shoved all of his medical papers on, like, oh, I'm going to need that, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I would throw it all in a backpack. And it was an area that I saw no one else doing anything for. So when I did that for Amy, we've both realized over time that there are so many people out there that need this, and there are also people that care, but unless you've been through the situation, you don't know what is needed or what to do. So this is a way for even people that want to do something for someone they love and they don't know what to do besides maybe make a meal or send flowers. They could also do this. They could put their name down on our waiting list to receive a Hope Tote. And that's where we can step in and do that. And we do it to help both the patient and the caregiver. When it's children, there's always a caregiver involved. When it's an adult diagnosed with something, sometimes there's not a caregiver involved, and that patient is their own caregiver. So that's why we do it for both. And we're really happy to be able to give back to a community that gave to us when we needed it in an area that we know it is needed in the community.
And what does it mean to you both to do this together? You can really feel the love you both have for each other, and your friendship is so strong. What does it mean to you to do this together?
It feels good.
I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
We both can relate.
Yeah, we get it. And like I tell my kids, and she tells her kids, when you know better, you do better. And our community, our Buffalo community, is like no other. And to give back to the community that wrapped us up and we literally can wrap them up, feels really good. And to do it with her, like I talk to her every day, it's like, it's a great thing.
We're grateful. I'm grateful for Make-A-Wish. I'm grateful for Stone's Buddies at Oshai Children's Hospital. I'm grateful for Team Impact, for all the programs that helped my family, and I, as Amy, is grateful for all of the programs that helped her family.
All the care teams at Roswell and Oshai and all of these places that gave to us.
This is our way to pay it forward. Yeah. We want to show that we were grateful. We want to do the same for others. So this is the way we can do it.
And what I think what makes Hope Totes special is that you guys had mentioned, like, oftentimes even the parents don't want to ask for anything, or the caretakers as well, because they want to just focus on taking care of their family member. So to be thought of in that moment when they're not asking for anything or anybody to think of them probably means the absolute world.
I didn't even, when people would ask me, what do you need? I just said, please pray for my son, please. Because all I wanted was for him to get better. And
but you know what she needed to be loved.
I did.
She needed to know someone was thinking about her so she could keep it together for her son. And so she could do what was needed for her son. That's why in the bag I brought her, the blanket was for her. Right. The things in that bag were for her. So she could feel that people were holding her up as she held up Thomas.
Which brings me to my next question. What is in a Hope Tote?
Oh, this beautiful blanket. For starters, Vera Bradley provides totes for us at a discounted rate, and they donate some as well. And the most comfortable blankets that goes with the totes. We also have our partners in New Era who provide backpacks. They donate all of this to us. They're amazing. They provide custom hats, which is also in the tote. Some like chemotherapy patients get cold during treatment, so that's what these are for. And they're very stylish too.
Great.
We have slippers with rubber soles for getting in and out of the hospital bed. Just a little thing that unless you spend a lot of time at the hospital, you don't even realize. I would take my sneakers on and off getting out of my son's hospital bed, and I didn't want to walk with my socks on the floor. Having a pair of slippers just to slip in and out of was so helpful. We have toiletry bags. I can't tell you how many times that I went to the hospital unexpectedly and I had nothing with me.
Yeah, you go to the emergency room, you need a toothbrush.
Yeah, it's all in here. There's hand sanitizers, we have masks, we have toothbrushes, toothpastes. We have...
the cornerstone of our tote, I feel, is really the medical binder, because it gives you a way to be actionable and help organize a care plan that sometimes can be very overwhelming.
And so in the medical binder, we have a letter that explains everything. It gives recommendations for everything in the tote and what you can use it for. We have a 3-hole punch because you receive a lot of papers that you can't file them because there's no holes in the paper. So you can't put them in a binder. We have a pencil bag with a pencil, pen, and highlighter to mark up important papers, maybe highlight lab work, highlight side effects or directions for medications, which I and Amy have both personally experienced. Some directions are quite complicated.
Yeah.
And as a caregiver, you have to learn it very quickly. All of a sudden, you have to be an expert on, in my case, a disease I'd never heard of.
Right.
And in Amy's case, it was something that you didn't know how to care for either. We have business card holders because I was given so many business cards from so many different specialists that were caring for my son.
At one time, I had 8 different specialists caring for Thomas. So.
And then we have tab dividers to separate instructions for medications, medication side effects, notes from doctors, discharge paperwork,
and even as an adult,
lab work.
Because Thomas is an adult, healthcare proxy, or directives, in case something happens, can all be found in there, so you can grab and go.
American Cancer Society, among many other groups, recommends a medical binder when you're diagnosed with a serious illness to help you learn about it and stay organized. So when you go to those doctor's appointments, when you go to the hospital, you are prepared with all of the information needed. Now, when someone has a major diagnosis, the last thing they're thinking about is, I'm going to go to an office supply store and get myself organized.
Not going to Office Max.
That's why we're doing it for them. You're so overwhelmed. You are not thinking about doing this for yourself.
Yeah.
You are thinking about just surviving.
Yeah.
A custom thing we have made in our Hope Totes by JH Paper and Dreams. It's a local stationery company. They make this just for us as a Hope Journal. And inside it has name of doctor, date of appointment, and notes that you can write down and keep all in one place. And I have had many people tell me they're writing on napkins. They're writing on anything, and it's just so overwhelming. So to have something that you can keep all of this information in is great. And then we have a little uplifting message in the beginning of all of these as well. We also include different care items. In this case, it's a coloring book and colored pencils. So while you're receiving treatment, it's just something that can bring you peace.
Occupy your mind so you're not thinking about the many hours that you're sitting in the waiting room.
And I've done this many times while with my son, you know, something different to do than maybe watch TV or that. We also, when we talked about the toiletry bag, and we purposefully keep this all in a high quality, ready to go tote or backpack, because at a moment's notice, you have to be able to grab this and go. So it's something that when you go to appointments, the whole purpose is to take this, take it with you. You have everything in this bag you need. So
it's beautiful. And during this time, your nonprofit has grown tremendously in a very short time, which is beautiful. And why wouldn't anybody want to support it? But you have a lot of partners that help you and pack these totes and get them out there. So talk to me about some of your partners.
Oh, well, we've got to talk about New Era.
Yeah.
New Era is an incredible, Buffalo company, globally known. And the New Era Foundation has generously donated backpacks, hats, provided us with a space to do our Hope Tote packing parties. And truly, they've been so generous. So they're one of our partners. Vera, we mentioned earlier, they have given us a very good discount and also donated to totes. She mentioned the paper company, that is born here.
Yeah, which is amazing. And they contacted us about that. They said, we see what you're doing. We would love to make custom medical journals for your totes. And we are so appreciative of that because it just came out perfectly.
I mean, and really just partnering with the local organizations like
Oshai,
Roswell, Great Lakes Cancer Collaborative,
Ronald McDonald House
Kevin
Charities,
Guest House.
Kevin Guest House.
I mean, it's really been
Kaylee's Kindness.
Hunt.
So many.
Sweet Buffalo. I mean, it's really been, such a collaborative effort to get our totes out there, because really we're just supporting what everybody else is also doing.
Give 716, the Bills and Sabres Foundation. The Sabres hosted a tote packing party for us in March.
Yep.
And we were able to pack totes there and pass them out to
and so many
area
volunteers.
hospitals.
We've had so many people reach out and want to deliver totes
it's amazing.
And do home deliveries or help us pack binders.
Home deliveries are the best part because you see you're surprising someone at their door with this tote. Sometimes they know about it, sometimes they don't, because you can recommend yourself as well.
Yeah.
But, just telling them this is just a gift we're dropping off for you. People are so appreciative and so grateful for it. And we receive the kindest notes and messages every time there are totes delivered.
Fills our hearts.
Aw. So how can you support then? You have, like I said, you have volunteers, they pack the totes, you're obviously in need of donations.
Yes.
What else?
Well, we're on all social media outlets. We have our website, hopetotesbuffalo.org. And then we're on Facebook, Hope Totes Buffalo. Instagram is the same. We're on Twitter or X, whatever it is now. We're also on LinkedIn. We would love if you guys want to, if anybody would like to, run a slipper drive or a binder drive or think of some new idea to raise awareness or
we're open.
Funding.
We are moms who started this, who are open to any and all ideas to be able to get more totes out to people who need them. That's our goal.
And you can also give back by nominating somebody going through a difficult time, right?
And please do, because that's what we want to do. But we just two moms on a mission. And so.
Well, I love those two moms on a mission. So thank you both so much for all you do, Colleen and Amy. I am so blessed that you wanted to partner with Sweet Buffalo and help give some of these totes out. And just to see all the hard work that goes into this is simply remarkable. So you guys should be so proud of yourselves and for all you do.
Back at you. Thank you.
We see all the families you work with, and we know they need these. And we're so grateful to you, too, for everything you're doing.
We can't do it without
families.
people like
you.
you.
It makes a difference. We know that. So thank you.
Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
For more episodes of The Sweet Buffalo Show, follow Sweet Buffalo on all our social platforms for sweet stories worth sharing.